Hi everyone, hope you're all well. So it's a lovely, beautiful, sunny day in Barcelona, very busy as you can see behind me. And we're here at the home of Genesis Home Technologies. I'm just going to go over to the main entrance and someone should let us in. Now I'm going to make my way up to the rooftop garden where we're going to enjoy a VIP reception co-hosted by Steinway Lingdorf, and I'm going to interview the owner for Genesis Home Technologies, Wim De Vos, as well as the business development manager for Barco, Bart De Vos, who's visiting from Belgium.
So what you'll see here is a very historical building where we've added technology in a way that we feel that adds another level of experience to the space. So we try and always think as technology architects. And now we're on the rooftop terrace, so anybody who gets to experience the space also gets to experience the rooftop terrace in the center with beautiful backdrop, some good food, coffee, wine, beer, and that's where we are. For me, everybody who's passionate about using technology to create a wow in any space, residential space, just book a visit. If you would work with us in the end or not, that's not the most important thing. I think what we need to raise is the level of awareness for what technology can do in a space. So just come over. We'll probably learn more from you than you from us. So more than welcome. The history of this room starts with the history of this plaque, actually. Many moons ago, I think 12 years ago, 11 years ago, Neil Davidson and myself were on a bus at 6 o'clock in the morning in Luton Airport, and we were debating why all cinema rooms were sold as the sum of components. Like, this is this speaker brand type of cinema room, of that projector brand, and we said it should be sold like a boat or a car. So, and then we discussed further, it should be sold as an experience. So then we came up with ICE, Immersive Captivating Experiences. That was the first iteration, and then recently we've opened it up. The C was cinema, but we made it captivating because it should be about more than cinema. So this space is an interpretation of what we actually want to do. We want to help the industry and customers understand that what we're selling is type of a time capsule or a space where we can travel. That's also how our demos go, by the way. So now when people arrive, we say, we'll take you to a concert and let's watch Eric Clapton, or we'll take you to, I don't know what city, and there's a motorcycle chase with Will Smith, and look at that. So it's a way to escape the current reality, time and space. And what we did here is we built this rather small room. I would say it's 5 by 7, and we've pimped it out with the best what we can do in terms of design, acoustics, audio, video, and that's what we have in Barcelona. We have 5 cinema rooms across Europe, and I would say this is the most expensive one and the smallest one. So that's where we are. Well, the main expense is in the technology here, because that is what we sell as a company. So the design here is good enough, nice enough that people would say, okay, this is a very nice room, but we don't pretend to be interior designers. They can do this a lot better. So I think the cost on the full system technology would be 500,000 euros. But then you have to add normally what an interior designer would do with a space like this. Could go up to 200, 300,000 also. But that is here our interpretation design-wise of something that is nice to look at, to enjoy the performance. So yeah, we've put the maximum audio video equipment in here you can, we think, get in a small space like this. In our business and systems we try and build, that often happens. So we build it as good as we can, but then you have to test drive it. And we looked at this room, for example. The audio and video performance was good, but the design and the acoustics were simply not good enough. So it was all finished. We were doing some demos. We looked at it internally. We just said, it's okay, but it's not good enough. And then actually we tore it apart again in October last year, thinking it needed to be on time for ISC January, February, which now is May. We had enough time, but so we stripped it and we rebuilt it completely in October, November last year. Expensive iteration, but was needed. Had 2 rows of cinema seating, and it filled the room up way too much. And now suddenly the seating area is lighter, there's more space. Then the curves that you see at the step, you also see them walking up to the cinema room if you go in and out. That is part of our view of the whole space. So our vision was to create a floor that would be the technology floor of Casa Batlló from Gaudí, the architect who uses a lot of curves. And we wanted to have the cinema room be part of the whole project. You often see that like the cinema room, it's almost like a totally different space from another house. We really wanted to have some elements like curves come back in the cinema room. So that's what we did. We didn't change the technology, we didn't change the wiring, we didn't change anything else. All construction, decoration and acoustics. So we chose the partners to do this room with. In this case, we're working with an audio system from Steinway Lindorf. We're working with a video system from Barco. And because it is a showcase, they actually chose the system that they would think would give the maximum performance here. The reason we do this is because we learned so much from them in how they would design the space, and we worked together, the 3 of us, to pack so much performance in such a small room. So the components that they picked to do it is we have a line source from Steinway at the front with double stacked boundary woofers behind the screen. We have very visible gold trim finish S15s because we wanted them to be part of the aesthetics of the room. We have the same at the back, and then we have fully integrated hidden Atmos speakers at the top. And then maybe later on you can have a look at the rack. So we've built a dedicated space for the rack with all the audio, so amplification and processing. Projector-wise, we are working with a Barco laser 3-chip. The Njord in this case, that Barco has carefully prepared, calibrated with us. And that's the system. It's actually, I would say, fairly simple. It's an expensive system, but it's a very simple system because we took top of the line Steinway immersive audio solution with top of the line Barco video solution, and then it's controlled by Control 4. So the lighting, the scenes, the kaleidoscope, the formats. Yeah, this is still a small touchscreen, but we standardize on the control systems also. We work in all our projects with Control 4 for lighting and audiovisual control. So in this space, this is a dedicated space only for the rack. But the main thing here is we as a distributor, we want to explain how important the installer is in everything. Because everybody can buy good product and good components, but it's useless, or let's say suboptimal, to use a euphemism, to buy the best components and not work with a very good installer integrator. So what we do here, we're trying to educate end users and architects about the importance of the professional company that is going to take care of the technology in the home. So what we do here before people get a demonstration in the cinema or any other part of the space is explain that one thing is the kit. So there's a lot of black, beautiful, branded boxes with touch screens, with everything, have you not? Then we go to the back because we want to show that there's an important level of engineering going on by these professionals. That's not done by us, that's done by installers that know what they're doing. So this is the level of engineering that goes on. But to be able to do this, these installers, what they need to do is they need to carefully plan and design and map out the whole project. So we share here every little component and block that goes into the whole space and into the cinema room. So one is what we call the home technology architect's blueprints. And you can then also see at the other side, we can see the schematics. So more for the engineers, how does everything work together? So this space is actually very important to show the importance of the installer in the whole equation. And that's our concept of promoting installers as home technology architects. They're actually at the same level as the architect, they're just the expert in the technological part. And so much more than the products we sell actually are the professionals putting it together and installing it. So we have two types of partners. We have partners who like to buy products from us and they get a good price, good support, they can buy it if they have the necessary level. We offer them training. That's one track. Then there's another track. Those are people who almost choose to vertically integrate with us, and we work on a project basis, which means every time they have a project, we meet and we see, what do you need? Do you need us to help with the commercial track, like a demonstration or a meeting with an architect? But often, and that's probably where your question is oriented, is you don't have the bandwidth, or you may not have all the technical skills in-house to do these blueprints and plans, and then we do that completely free of charge. So we make the blueprints, we have 3 levels of blueprints, you can check that out on the website, and we do these always free of charge for the partners that work on a project basis with us. So there's no option to pay us for the blueprints. The blueprints are free of charge for partners who work on projects with us. If you just want products, then you buy products, but you cannot buy the blueprints as a service. Because our idea is this is an added value to people who share the vision of how home technology should be delivered in the home. Come over to Barcelona and see what type of a company you are and what you do. Currently, there's no plan to move into the UK. I've been there before. It was a not successful experience. It's a different market. But I do think this could work, this approach could work in the UK. I don't know. So if you're a UK company, the worst that can happen is that we have a good meal, we sit in the sun, we share some ideas. By the way, these plans of our showrooms, you can download them anyway, free of charge. Maybe have a look and then we'll see. Most of the time, I must say, we learn as much from our potential partners or partners than they learn from us. So I'm very interested to hear from anybody who would consider that, and then we'll see how we can help each other.